Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Certainly nice to have you guys on with us. And if you can say hello, do that. If you're new to the program, well, we love to hear from you. And thanks for following us here this morning. As you get your notifications, I'll say hello again. Hi, guys. Nice to have you on here. The doctor is in. We're talking Q&A Monday. And Lucille, Rosalinda, Janice, how are you? Brahim, Andrea from Niagara Falls. We love you guys. And Nativity, good morning, right at the top there. Sandra, how is you? And Wendy from Markham this morning. Rosa from Montreal. Sandy from Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Linda from New Brunswick. Sandy, Vancouver, Washington. John, our friend from hot Elgin, Illinois. Carol in West Virginia. Bonnie, Lorraine. Guys, we've been getting the heat here in Northern Ontario. Crazy. Marla from Oregon. Wanda, Ridgeway, Ontario. Dave is in Muskoka. Jessica is in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Danny Lee, Iron Bridge. Dennis, how are you from Norwich? Lisa, good morning to you. Bonnie, Little Britain. Paula Joe, we love you. Fran from Orangeville, dear friends. Christine, Fort Worth. And Sue, how is you? Barashant. Wendy from Aylmer. Darlene, how is you? David, Ridgeway. And Dennis. Oh, excuse me, Denise. Sorry, Denise, Oakville. Sherry. Lori. Oh, Derek. Patricia, how is you from Florida? Bruno, North Bay. And Wanda from Virginia. Annie at Fairbanks Lake. That's beautiful. Catherine, Patricia, and Cheryl in West Virginia. Good morning to you guys. Hi, Gary from Bolton. Maureen, how are you? From Boca Raton, Florida. Etta. Carol from New Brunswick. Thanks for coming on, guys. We appreciate it. I know I miss many of you. I can't. Somehow they either go by me or I don't see them. Or Melika, how are you in Stouffville? Is it because I'm a senior? Maybe. I don't know. Margaret, Mary, Dave and Helga, Nicole from Magog. Bonjour, Denise, London. Guys, like I said, I hate to miss anyone. Yolande, I don't know if you're there, but I'm going to say hi to Doc McHugh, our dear friend in West Virginia. Denise, Donna, Eileen, thanks for coming on. Okay, let's get to the question. Well, let me answer a question that I got yesterday. Okay, so it's not on our Q&A, but I'm going to comment on it because it's news, okay? Now, yesterday I was asked about a senator that died, made the news. An American senator in, I think he was a senator for South Carolina, pretty sure. Okay. Anyways, okay. Found out last night because they said he had a sudden illness. Okay. And sudden, catastrophic. And when I was asked about it yesterday, I said, well, first of all, it might have been sudden, but it wasn't recent. Okay. You don't get an abdominal aorta dissection or aneurysm there. Like, it just doesn't come out of nowhere, right? And Brahim is saying Lindsey Graham. Yeah, Lindsey Graham. Okay? And so it made the news, guys. But we go over this all the time. Look, that didn't just happen. I mean, the event just happened, where he got a dissection, which is, think of a hose and how it, an older hose, and sort of breaks down, because the abdominal aorta, that is a huge hose that in your body. It's the biggest. And there's a lot of pressure going through there all the time. And look, apparently, and you have to look at his history, because he had high blood pressure for years, apparently had been treated, was on meds. I don't know this for a fact, but I can almost guarantee you he was on statin drugs. Almost guaranteed. Guys, an abdominal aneurysm on the abdominal aorta does not happen overnight. It takes years and years and years of oxidation, damage to the viscosity, which is the Teflon layer. Like, there's damage there. And that weakens that artery over a period of time. There's atherosclerosis that forms, hardening. And again, we go over it like it's free radical damage. It is, you get scarring, you get glycation. Sugar causes glycation and damages the blood vessel. It loses its slipperiness, like the Teflon layer there. It's not slippery anymore. It's sticky, and it's a built up of plaque that weakens the tube in there, the inner tube, and that's what happens. So when they say it's sudden, okay, it's sudden. Yeah, it's sudden when it bursts. But before it burst, it was breaking down for a long period of time. Okay? So, again, I was asked that question. I answer it by telling you, like it's a process over a long period of time. And let's say Lindsey Graham had come to see me in my clinic days, and he had high blood pressure. I saw that tens of thousands of times, more than that. Okay? My protocol, okay? And like I said, I was never one to take someone off medication. I said, look, let's get your body in good shape. And when you do that, you shouldn't even need medication anymore. Okay? Let's get to the root of the problem. So what did I do? Okay? Changed their diet. Made them understand that sugar is very destructive to the blood vessels. Very destructive. You might not see it, but it's very destructive. Okay? So we're going to put you on a protocol, and we start with food. Lower your carbs. We always talk about insulin resistance, creating inflammation. Inflammation damages the inner tube. Glycation, so no sugar. Cut it out as much as possible. Understand what's happening inside your body. When you get high blood pressure, a lot of times it's in the kidneys, but again, it's sugar. Sugar is very destructive. So again, start with food. Eat a lot of eggs, meat, and cheese. Then I would have had them on Navitol to open up the blood vessels, to elevate nitric oxide. I would have had them on Navitol. I would have had them on DHA to lubricate. I would have been checking his vitamin D levels because vitamin D is good. It's very anti-inflammatory. It's good for everything, including your blood vessels. Okay? You're going to eat a lot more vitamin S, steak, carnitine, carnosine, creatine, CoQ10. All those are found in steak. Arginine, steak, opens up blood vessels. Eggs, meat, and cheese, guys. I would have had them on eggs, big time, for heart, for blood vessels. And magnesium, B12, all in my protocol. Okay. Anywho, did I forget anything? I wanted to touch on it because somebody asked me yesterday about it. Okay. Claudette is asking, my niece is on her third prescription of antibiotics for lung infection. She was told as a child she should live in a bubble because she had lots of problems with her immune system, right? And sick all the time. And she's under a lot of stress. What recommendations? Well, Claudette, look, I mean, again, I don't know her, but here's what, okay? When you got a bad immune system, lungs, recurring infections, usually you're very low in vitamin D. So tell your niece to get her vitamin D levels checked. It's worth, even if she has to pay for it, it's worth the money to pay to get your vitamin D tested. You want to know what your vitamin D levels are in her serum, okay? I can almost guarantee you they're low, okay? She's probably very low in vitamin A because she doesn't eat enough steak, eggs, meat, and cheese. Vitamin A, your invisible mask, okay? I want you to wear a mask, the invisible one. Okay? So very important for that. She's probably low in zinc. Why? Not enough eggs, meat, and cheese. Where do you get zinc in your diet? Eggs, meat, and cheese. Why do you think I love that stuff so much? Okay? So build up her immune system. That is the key. And then diet-wise, of course, you cut back on sugars. Why? Because sugar puts your white blood cells, your Navy SEALs, your T cells to sleep. Get in the sun as much as possible. Okay? When the sun's out, take advantage of it. Okay, thanks, Claudette. Tam, I heard you skate. I'm telling you. I heard you say, not skate. Oh, I'm telling you, guys. I heard you say skin tags are a sign of leaky gut. No, I didn't say that. Okay? Tam, I didn't. You know what I said? Skin tags are a sign of insulin resistance. So when you get skin tags, that's not a sign of leaky gut. It's a sign of insulin resistance. It means you and insulin are having trouble. It means you and carbs not getting along anymore. Okay? And that's why you get skin tags, because skin tags is a sign of insulin resistance. Your cells at the cellular level, they're tired of seeing insulin coming around. And the only way that happens is if you are a carboholic. Okay? And a lot of people, oh, doc, I'm not a diabetic. And then I see skin tags all over their body and I go, well, effectively, you really are. Okay? You really are. You just don't know it yet. Remember, diabetes is the last thing that happens to your body. It's never the first, it's the last. Because again, your body is dedicated to keeping you away from diabetes. But they call it a pre-diabetic state. I don't even like the term because really you're on the Titanic. If you have skin tags, you're on the Titanic. Your body has metabolic syndrome. You're part of the 93% of the population that have that. So that's what I said, okay? And I talked about insulin. These are hidden signs. We did a show on this a couple of weeks ago. Hidden signs of insulin resistance, okay? I've seen people on here that say they take cortisol at night, but the directions say not to. While we try and talk about that a lot, Tam, that is, I hate to say it, Health Canada regulations. They're telling people who take cortisol formula not to take it at night. We have to put it at the label. It gives me a migraine. It's so silly. But you're dealing with bureaucrats. You're dealing with people who hate the natural product industry. Trust me when I say that. Okay? In Canada, there's a war against supplements. If they had their way, you wouldn't be able to take a supplement without a prescription from your physician. And I mean that. That's what they want. That's what they want. They want to take away supplements. They don't want you to go. It's like Europe. They don't want you to go to a health food store. They want you to get a prescription. Well, good luck with that. If you got a prescription from your doctor for vitamin D, they'd say, well, 1,000 IUs a day. That's lots. I'm telling you guys. It's well documented. What I'm saying is true. And so labels, we have no choice. If you get in Canada, in order to sell a natural product as a supplement, you have to have a NPN number. Okay? Natural product number. You have to. And to get that number, they tell you what to put on the label. I've been in practice 50 years. You'd think they would ask me what to put on the label. Okay, cortisol. Do you know how many tens of thousands of people that take cortisol every night before going to bed? Because they find it's so good for them. It's good for them in a lot of ways, but it helps them sleep. It helps them to get into the 5 stages of sleep, including the REM sleep, including turning on your self-cleaning oven, your glymphatic system in your brain. We formulated that. But there's a war going on. And you got to follow the rules. Otherwise, they take you right off the market. I tell you, there's been tens of thousands of products in Canada that are taken right off the market. And just good luck trying to get them back on. It's crazy, but what am I? It's the era in which we live in Canada. I'm totally bonkers about it because it's crazy. We have more regulations at the manufacturing level. And listen, like I said, Canada had the most stringent rules for the production of natural products, and it was working very well, and every other country in the world envied what we had in Canada, and now they were out to destroy that. The pharmaceutical companies have got their teeth in at Health Canada, and they want to take over the natural product industry. 100%, that's what's happening, guys. Okay? Okay. And at last, Tam says, are you absorbing vitamin D on cloudy days? Not much. No, not much. Okay? A little bit, but not much. Okay? Get outside because there's lots of advantages there. Okay? The amount of vitamin D, no. You're going to get some melatonin, though, even on a cloudy day. Okay. Chris, on these hot summer days, yep, I sometimes don't get enough water. I know a lot of people don't. I like watermelon. It's very hydrating. I see some reels about it being bad for the liver. Is that true? No, it's not bad on the liver at all. It's actually very good for your kidneys. Look, watermelon is good for you, but it's not water. Because only water is water, okay? And I know you're going to be told, oh, watermelon's got, it's mostly all water. Hey, I like watermelon. I mean it. It's got lycopene. I've been talking about watermelon for years. It's good, especially for your kidneys and the urinary tract. It is good for that. I like lycopene. But don't mistake watermelon for water, okay? Because water takes it washes the bowel, it washes the kidneys, and only water is water. See? Like you drink a coffee. Is that good for you? Yep. Is water in coffee? Yeah, 95% of coffee is water. But it ain't. Coffee's good for you, though. Coffee's better than watermelon for you. Watermelon's good. Coffee's better. But water, only water is water. Okay? You guys know I say that all the time because I'm telling you. But I got no problem with watermelon, and it certainly ain't bad for your liver. I don't know whoever thought that could be bad for the liver, because it's not. Well, maybe because they're thinking it's fructose that goes to the liver. But if you're eating, I want you guys, if you're going to have fruit, eat it. Don't drink it. Okay? Don't drink it. Eat it. There you go. You've heard this here a million times. Joan, is wild rice good to eat? No. Well, let me rephrase. Let me give you a little bit of background. Because we already talked about this morning for a minute. You know when I tell you that 93% of the population have metabolic syndrome? What does that mean? Well, they're on the Titanic. What does that mean? Well, they have trouble with insulin. Insulin is a food hormone. When you eat rice, you need insulin because it's going to turn to sugar pretty rapidly. Now, wild rice, a little bit better. Maybe a little bit rapid response in terms of it turning to sugar. But here's the big but I want to give you. Okay? If you're in that 93%, okay? Rice or wild rice? Not much. Not much. Because you need a lot of insulin. I am concerned about the food hormone called insulin. That's a big problem. I guarantee it. Okay? And that insulin, when you develop resistance to it, you're on the Titanic, you're in the 93% of the population. You can know this, by the way, by blood test. I would have loved to see Lindsey Graham's blood work. I would have liked to have seen it, because maybe I could have warned him. Doctors were worried about his blood pressure. I get that. But I would have been worried about blood sugar, because there's a connection to your blood vessels. Sugar is destructive to blood vessels. I would have been concerned with his A1C. I would have been concerned with his HDL, not his LDL. The doctors are concerned about LDL. I'm concerned about HDL, meaning cholesterol not being high enough. I would have been concerned with his triglycerides. Doctors barely look at that. I would have been concerned at his uric acid levels. I would have been concerned about his vitamin D levels, his B12. I would have been concerned about belly fat, because that gives you an indication of visceral fat. That's me. That's the way I look at things. Okay? I want to get into prevention. Okay, that was Joan. Okay, I hope I answered Joan the way you, well, not the way you wanted maybe, but telling you the truth. Tina! My husband had recent blood work. His kidney function is 39. That means his GRF, right? GFR. GRF. I'm a senior. Glomerular filtration rate. Okay? Very good indicator of your kidney function. How your kidneys filtrate. Okay? That goes down. If it's under 60, you got chronic kidney disease. What was his? His function is now 39. 59 a month ago, 79 in December, going down rapidly. Okay, that's rapid. He has increased his water intake. That really helps. Okay? Can sweating and dehydration show up as low kidney function? Yes. Yes. Dehydration can be a factor. But he has got to clean up his diet. Get off all sugars. Sugar destroys kidneys like nothing else. If you don't believe me, ask a diabetic. A diabetic knows that diabetics are 10 times more likely to have a heart attack. Now, I don't know what Lindsey Graham's status was, okay, as far as that. I don't have his history. But kidneys and sugar don't get along. They just don't get along. Okay? And lots of water for sure. Flush, flush, flush. Niagara Falls. Okay. And they'll tell them to get off the protein because they're mistaken what protein does in the kidneys. Okay? Because they see protein oftentimes in the urine. He might have proteinuria or protein in the urine. Elevated albumin. But it doesn't come from protein. It comes from sugar. Okay? Okay. Tina, thank you for the question. Teresa, about fish oil. I keep your DHA product on the counter, but I heard recently that polyunsaturated fatty acid is prone to oxidation. Well, look, if you have a good fish oil, okay, an elite fish oil, it's not prone to oxidation like a cheap fish oil is, okay? If you're not sure, don't put it in the sun, but you can leave it on your counter. Okay, you really can. This has been tested. Ours has been tested. After months and months and months, it's still got as many milligrams of DHA and in a non-oxidized form. Okay, if you want, you can put your DHA in the freezer if you want. Okay, you can freeze them. But it's the cheap oil that gets oxidized, especially the non-EPA and non-DHA. They get oxidized easily, those oils, okay? Linoleic acid, for example, gets oxidized quickly. Okay, let me see here. Carol. I recently had blood work. I've been going every 3 months and trying to improve my metabolic markers. Okay. Recently, my stuff went in the wrong direction. Alanine liver enzymes were high. I had an ultrasound, no fatty liver, but they did notice a 3.2 lesion that had been there, that was not there previously in 2013-22. Could this be caused by fatty liver? Well, you may not have fatty liver, but just that lesion. And you want to get an MRI. Find out. Okay? That would really mess up your numbers, especially your liver enzymes. Okay? So you might not have, how is your, see, well, you're telling me your A1C was good, fasting insulin, all came, they all came up higher this time. Well, that could be due to the lesion. Let me know, Carol. Get feedback to me at Martin Clinic, info at Martin Clinic. Send me an email once you get more results. I think I answered this the other day, did I? Marissa. Why am I still getting acne at 64? Because you're too much of a woman. Marissa? You have estrogen dominance compared to your progesterone. You're saying, is it possible that dairy? Well, the only way to really know, dairy can sometimes do it, but I'm more suspicious that your hormones. The only way to know if dairy is bothering you is eliminate it and see what happens to your skin. Be your own doctor. But I'm more thinking, Marissa, and I think I answered this the other day. She's not happy. I hope you're not I hope, Marissa, you're not mad at me. Okay, just your hormones. Hormones. Okay, and check for leaky gut too, Marissa, for sure. Anytime you see anything on the skin. Okay. And let me see, I think I'm done. Pretty well. Why do I cough when I'm swallowing food? Sedalia. Well, sedalia usually because you have a silent reflux. Not enough acid in your stomach. The acid is going up. You might not feel it other than you're coughing. Okay? That's often a sign. Or, secondly, you might have postnasal drip. But even a silent reflux can cause that. Make sure you're taking digestive enzymes with every meal. Okay. Ramona. Her daughter has POTS, which is that you get up fast and you're dizzy and your blood pressure goes down. POTS. Well, look, I'd have her on to, B12. I often find that low in POTS. I like the combination of that and Navitol. Okay? Okay, I think think I answered everything else. Okay, guys. Thanks for all the questions. We love you guys. Merci beaucoup. Okay. For our French viewers, we love you guys. Thank you for coming on. Okay. And this week, what do we got? Well, we should have a fair amount of studies Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday is Q&A. Send your questions in. info@martinclinic.com. Okay? info@martinclinic.com. We love you guys. Talk to you soon.